Whether you're a Class 5 rafter or just looking for a couple of laughs, these two have you covered. Welcome to Aaron and Zach's Better Than Mediocre Rafting Show.
Well, it's good to be back, Aaron. Thanks for taking the show for a couple weeks while I've been out. And you and Steve did a great job.
Well, thanks. I think we were going to change the title of the show while you're gone to
That's fine.
Steve and Aaron's fantastic video review show without Zach.
Yeah, no, I watched the last show and it was better than me being here. So if I can figure out how to get Steve to come back, I like doing it, but it is better without me. So it wouldn't hurt to do. Without
are you sick or something? Why are you being so humble?
No, I mean, honestly, it's hard watching you guys because I'm like, they're so good. I don't know. I'm very insecure about this sometimes. I'm very am I saying stupid things? Do I say too much? Am I saying too much? What am I doing putting myself on video in front of people? This is embarrassing. And then when I run into people in the real world who are like, oh, we watch a show, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry I waste your time. And honestly, this, just going back to what this is something we were doing. Remember we were doing this. I looked at our old videos recently. We were just video reviewing stuff, not live. And one day I was like, hey, Aaron, let's make this thing go live and see what happens. And it's just fun for us. So, we do it because it's fun. If you guys want it to be good, we'll get Steve on and I'll try to slowly get out. And honestly, I'm trying to get better at this. So hopefully I just get better at it. But you started this is a show that Aaron and I do weekly. We review videos and talk about rafting. And we have memberships. Paul, thanks for becoming a member. And what memberships is you go into YouTube and you just sign up to pay a monthly membership fee of $2. And you can do these things, which don't show up on ours, but that's where you can see I can make icons. There's other advantages to being a member. Well, one thing that came up is I keep getting asked to do reviews of equipment over and over and over. They'll review this, review that, and I have to buy it. I can't call NRS and say, send me the same, I'm going to review it, because I'll probably review it poorly. So people want me to review this knife. Oh, let me go. I'm going to take myself.
Go big. Take over.
Oh, hold on.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go. Oops. Oh, I got to make myself big. There we go. People have been wanting me to review this knife. And it's an EC Emlay knife. And so I just went out and bought it, and I'm going to just unbox it here real quick. This isn't an official unboxing video, but just say we use this money to review the stuff you guys are curious about. And I'll do a Gear Garage review about this, but I thought I'd do a quick review here and just show you honestly, I'm going to open up for the first time. I've never used it. I have no affiliation with them. Other than people have told me it's a cool knife for river rescue. And I have no preconceived opinion. This is the EC Emlay rescue knife. The company is, where's the thing? The company is EC, ESEE, and it's called the Emlay Rescue. I've been told this is the bee's knees. What do you think so far, Aaron?
Yeah. No, so far I'm not impressed, but I don't know. I'm not. How is it? How easy is it to pull out? Does it seem secure in its sheath?
Okay, let me pull it out. Let me see. It's a little hard to pull out.
Is it got that little button? Do you have to take that button thing off or something?
So it looks like this. So this thing attaches here.
Oh, so it's like a breakaway thing on it. Wow, that's kind of clever.
Pull this up. It's a little bit tight. Sorry, I probably look really weak trying to put it on. Yeah, so it looks like it's on with this thing under PFD. So if you want to use it, you got to pull this down off.
Oh, it's kind of like the old rubber band system that people.
It's like a rubber band. It's a built-in rubber band,
or the hair tie.
And then I'm getting it out. This is the knife, and it's smaller than I thought it would be. To be honest with you, I thought it would be a bigger knife. Here we got a quote. The tether works, and I imagine it all does. I have recently been working on a blog post right now, and I'm working on a video about river knives again. What are the things you look for in river knives, Aaron?
That it's cheap.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
I just want to have a knife on me so that like I look presentable when
Come on.
I'm guiding. Yeah, I got my river knife because I'm not going to use it because I'm not going to use it. No, all honesty though, like I want a handle that I can hold on to. Like that handle looks really small, and I like a lot of times when I'm doing trips, my hands are cold, and I look at the handle.
Yeah.
I'm like, that handle doesn't look. I like a beefier handle. That handle does not look that beefy.
People were telling me they loved it because the handle's so beefy, and it's not the worst handle I've ever held, but it's not even close to the best one.
It looks like it's like, can you hold it in different angles? Like, I mean, if you want to be able to use a knife like this way or this,
If my hands were cold, I'd be struggling. Actually, it's a good. So I think at cold weather boating, I'm not sure if I like this.
And then it's metal, so it's cold and it's metal, and you're like,
Yeah.
not that you usually hold onto your knife for a long time, but I like the. Oh, now we're getting serious right away. Zach, you're just jumping in.
Well, my test is can't cut rope, and having tested a lot of knives, this is hard rope to cut. By the way, this is like pretty thick old rope that's dirty. It's definitely better than an NRS knife. I can tell you that right away.
What about the
NRS
Gerber?
knife? Would do nothing here. I mean, is your knife being sharp and able to cut rope an important detail?
That's probably one I'd put up there, Zach. I'd say my first goal is to have a knife that's there when I need it. That's more important than being sharp, is that it's there. That it's secure enough and I'm not going to lose it, because I feel like too many people lose their knives. So that's my first priority. Second priority is something that I can hold on to, that I'm not going to lose, that I can pull out easily. And third is, I mean, they all cut, but ideally it cuts well.
So this one actually locks in without the thing pretty well. Like when it locks in, it kind of locks in. It doesn't, in my mind, it almost doesn't need this. If you compare it to a Gerber, it comes out, it takes a little bit, actually it's getting easier now that I've used it. But yeah.
How would you secure it to your vest? How's this?
There's this thing. So you would screw it into this thing, and there's a little life jacket not right there. It came with one. You just gotta screw it onto that thing. So this thing,
screw one thing into another.
Yeah. So see, this thing has
one of those clips.
It's a clip, and then comes with some screws, and you just like screw it on here. It looks like. So it clips on your PFD, so it's like like that or whatever. Let me tell you what I've been thinking about lately for knives. The primary things are, one, that it's accessible. It's accessible somehow. Wherever you put it can be accessible. 2, I like a beefy handle that I can hold well. And 3 is that it's sharp. And I want a full serrated edge. What bothers me about this knife, why would you not put a full serrated edge on this? Its sole purpose is to cut rope. And it has a half serrated edge.
Well, that what is non-serrated better for?
Whittling wood, opening.
What about if you have to cut into a raft?
I don't think that's going to make much of a difference, honestly.
Here's my next question on this one. How easy do you think it would be to put it back into its sheath after you've desheathed it?
Not that hard.
It looks like the sheath's really thin. Like you.
It is. Oh, to like capture it, to catch it just right.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks
you
like
could miss it. You could.
It looks like you have to really pay attention.
I'm not worried about getting it out. I'm fine slowly putting it back. Everybody's like, hey, I want to grab it and get to it right away. You have to undo all these external knives, most of them almost have to have like a rubber band on them. Like some of the new ones have mechanisms that come out, but this is the built-in rubber band. Yeah, I saw that comment too. Were you laughing at that? I mean, to me, honestly, like, that's what it's for. It's to cut tomatoes, but you can cut cheese with serrated. So
and sometimes the nice serrated sometimes are great for the tomatoes too.
Yeah, I'm just to demonstrate the difference. This is a good knife. This is right now my favorite knife. It's a Spyderco something expensive knife. Just to compare how it cuts rope.
Lift up higher. One.
It was really one. I mean, the second one was like threads. So like,
and the handle's beefier.
Yeah. Now this is in the PFD one. You won't look cool. You don't get to wear it outside your PFD and look cool. And you're going to have a slower reaction time getting to the knife, but it cuts like nothing else. This one has a blunt tip though. So it's not, this is more my around that. I have a not blunt tip version of that.
Why are you worried about the blunt tip? Is that some problem? Are people stabbing themselves with knives?
It's not, but I think it's best practices for a river. Why have a blunt tip other than cutting through a raft? Like this one will cut through a raft.
The blunt tip is nice for tightening little screws down on stuff.
Yeah, but you drop it on your foot or like cut somebody. Like when you're in a rescue situation, your tension's elevated. You're getting wild. You want that thing as safe as you can. I personally want. So let's go back to the things I want. Our primary things are like good handle, smart access points. I want full servation, not partial servation. I want the back end to not be sharp because I want to be able to push my finger into it if I have to. If I want to go into something, I want to put my thumb on the back and push. So I want dull on one side, sharp on the other, blunt tip. Those are my primary things. My secondary things are I want it to be a bright color. Like I like that this is orange and not black. What else do I want secondary? I would put some of that stuff maybe in secondary, but having it cut a rope well is important. Now this thing, if you give it like some just regular throw bag rope, it's probably going to do just fine. This is just regular throw bag rope. 2 cuts. So like just regular rope you're probably going to be around, no problem. But if you are around something more difficult, it's a problem.
I forget. Do you like wearing them on the outside of your vest on the front of your life jacket?
I don't know. No.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I find it's annoying. It's in the way. Like we've had this conversation before, and that's like I feel like that's what that one's designed for, is to wear there where you're going to get caught when you're trying to climb in the boat. You're going to get it. It's going to kind of get stuck on your perimeter line, and
Yeah. No. I think
an air tank wrench. Whoa.
That's kind of cool. We're not using air tanks. We're using rafting, but
that's interesting. Wow.
But
so it sounds like it's not designed for rafting then. If it's got
it's a river rescue. It's a rescue knife. I think it's developed by the EC team during their SAR, Swiftwater, and recreational rope activities. It features a blunted tip for safer use around tension ropes or rescue subjects, serrations to get through tough materials, double spine jimping for a more secure grip, O2 slot, secondary retention strap, and 440 stainless steel for wet environments.
I'm going to say, if you're going to wear it that way, I like that secondary retention strap. I don't know how long that'll hold up in the UV. I think you're a guide. How many seasons is that going to hold up?
You get an extra one too. It comes with an extra one. Stopful.
Whoa, okay then. Because definitely I feel like UV degrades stuff like that so fast, and you get sunscreen on it, and the rubber stuff just wears out. So,
but we going back to external versus internal. We talked about this a million times. People will tell me, "Oh, there's this one time somebody had to get to it quickly and it saved their life." And look at the story. There's a story in Mountain Buzz that people say to go to and look at. Sure. I don't know. Like, I think that people personally, and people get mad at me for saying this. People like having external knives to look tough. They had somebody that they learned from that looked super cool, and they want to look as cool as that person, so that they can't wait to have their knife. And I think that's a reason a lot of people do external knives, and then they justify it by saying, "Well, there's this one story, this one guy who cut himself free." I think that I'd rather have a knife that cuts better, and so I'm going to choose knife cutting ability over external. And what you're saying about getting yourself back into a raft makes a lot of sense. But I will say, kayaking, I'm starting to think external is better.
Oh yeah.
So I'm starting to think, in my mind, like as I think about this more in the use cases for rafting, I'm liking internal. For kayaking, because kayaking, it's a lot more times you have to get it one-handed potentially, right? I can still get to this one-handed in my PFD, but you quick access, and you may have to cut your skirt, for some reason, or having it quick access, and you don't have the problem getting back in the raft, right? You're kayaking, you're just in water. Rafting, you're around stuff, it bumps into things, it's a problem.
Yeah, I'd say kayaking is a different story, and that's a good point. I like it. I'm gonna say I like it on the side, Zach, underneath my armpit, out of the way, facing upward.
Yeah, but you can only access it with one arm that way.
No, I can access it with either.
No, you can't.
So look, Zach, I'm touching the side of my body. I'm touching the side of you can access with either.
It's also, one secondary factor is with weight, and this thing's super light. So again, everything you add to your PFD adds weight, and so this this thing is pretty light.
How much did it cost?
It's like $80.
Doesn't seem that good for $80.
How much do you think this costs?
120.
A little more than that, but yeah, this is expensive. I think personally, I think a good river knife should be in the. You don't buy it
$30. $30.
You're not going to get good steel, but anyway. A couple of things. I think this is Zach makes a good point. Was that PFDs nowadays have pockets? Like
we've talked about this though. We've had conversations about this, and I agree they have pockets, but the high float jackets still, the pockets and high flotation jackets are not well placed to carry in general to carry your knife on the inside.
So that's where an external knife would make sense. Like this Mustang rescue vest I've been using. It has big pockets, but it's gonna be hard to find the knife in a rush, and from both hands. So with that Mustang PFD, I'd probably go external. Whereas if I'm rocking like an Astral vest or something else, so it depends on the PFD.
I'm gonna say, Zach, I'd like for you to try wearing it upright here on your side one if you do an external one.
I'm not gonna do
and just try it out. You know why you don't want to do it? Because it doesn't look cool. It's you want to be the cool guy with the knife on the front. That's why you're not doing it.
That's not true. That's not true. I mean, I don't have a knife on the front, so do I?
Have you tried it on the side ever? Have you?
It would get in my way. I don't know.
You've never tried it. You haven't even tried it. I've tried it on the front, and I've lost multiple knives had it on the front. I started wearing it there. I have not lost.
There's nowhere to attach it, and I don't wear those dorky PFDs that you wear. Like I wear PFDs that there's nowhere to the side to put them.
You mean the Mustang? You've got the straps on the side.
I don't wear that very often. Oh, yeah. So if I run the Mustang, I might try that.
You could put it on the straps on the side tightening straps. Yeah.
So I think, this is a good point that Zach makes. I think we're getting to is it kind of depends on your PFD.
Yeah.
Like whether you go internal or external, what knife you use does kind of depend on PFD. Yeah, fully serrated. Are they good?
There you go. $7.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that you're not going to get good steel for $7.
I wonder where they carry it. But whatever way, you throw it away.
They probably carry it on a belt. They probably wear a belt and it's hanging to their side and they pull it out to.
Fully serrated Swiss Army paring knife.
Well, I'm just going to say, if you want a foldable knife, the Spyderco expensive ones are. I wouldn't get this one. I have the one I get somewhere around here. This one actually is fine. I get one of their ones that have a blunt tip because I think I like the blunt tip, but these things are awesome. All right, we have a lot to go over in the show. This is starting.
Oh, dude, these look sweet. They're like folding.
They are folding?
These ones I'm looking at, it's like this little folding paring knife. I don't see a serrated one though. I only see, they're like $7. He's right, but I just don't see the serrated ones.
All right, let's move on. We have stuff to talk about. We have videos to
Okay.
show, and I want to show one more thing. This is the wing. Let me go back to this. How do I get it just to be that? There we go. This is the wing raft you guys were talking about last week. So I just want to you guys were talking about what raft to buy, and I have a lot of thoughts. I didn't.
Zach,
I have a lot of thoughts.
Well, okay, we jumped right in. I think we need to take a breath, and if we haven't told people yet, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notifications anytime new comes on. Right, Zach? How are we doing in our numbers?
We're doing fine.
Okay.
And if you become a member, we'll buy more stuff like this that you guys want us to review. We'll use that money. We're not buying beach homes in Hawaii. Oh, Aaron, you are buying a beach home in Hawaii. I'm not buying a beach home in Hawaii with this big bucks. We'll just buy gear and review it and have it and be able to spend it on stuff for you. So please feel free to thanks for the thought on this. Please think about joining. It's like $2 a month and it makes us feel cool. And you get to use the cool Steve, Aaron, Dougie, Zach icons.
And if you have suggestions for other icons that we can add to the list, shoot me an email, let me know.
I want to do a pin and clip in the Orlock maybe because that comes up so much. So let's go on to this.
So Zach, you listened to the show last week. I'm glad you brought this up because I was kind of bummed you weren't there for certain parts of it, particularly when we started talking about the wing boats because I feel like you have a lot more knowledge on them than we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what did we miss out on? What were some key
man.
things? Where were you like, oh, I need to be there to say this?
Well, I think Steve wanted to get a gray boat with wooden oars. I'm like, Steve, there's better colors out there. He's just nostalgic to what, and this is what I learned with, the gray Avons and wood oars. You learned on. I just want to say, Steve, move on, try color, get some Sawyer MXGs. Like, wood is expensive, it's outdated. Go to something modern. That was one thing. But the other one is just to fill in some holes about the wing boats. And just to give some perspective, this is the 16-foot wing boat, and I designed it for wing. And so I'm proud of this design. I just want to share some thoughts about why it is the way it is and how we came up with this design. So this is the 16. The 14.6 is pretty much the same thing, just made smaller. So the 14.6 Williamson, and there's a 13 that's not on their website, a 13-foot version of the same thing. They don't advertise, but they can sell. What we did here was we took a Pro, and we started with the Pro dimensions and just tweaked it a little bit. We added a bunch of D-rings, like you guys talked about. On a gearboat, D-rings don't hurt, right? On a gearboat, D-rings are only good.
They make the boat heavier.
Whatever, not that much. And we modernized it. Like, we put the valves at the bow and the stern. But we did a couple things with geometry that are tricky. One, you see we started the rake pretty early. Like, the straight section is super short.
I'm not a fan of that.
Did you notice it on the boat that you rode?
You had me on the 14.
No. Oh, I did. The 14 does the same thing. So, like,
I think that's why it flipped, Zach.
It flipped because you made a mistake. That's why it flipped. But Aaron, so the thing is, people have been afraid to do this, and so there's just a little bit of, what's the other word for rake?
Rise
and rocker. You can see, like, there's a short straight section, and there's a tiny bit of rise early. Your frame can go over that part. It's fine. Your frame doesn't have to just be the straight section. So our frames extend into that little bit of rise, but that gives you a little bit more maneuverability and makes the rise be a little bit more sustained instead of very distinct at the bow and the stern. So that's one big difference from the Avon, is we just started that rise a little bit early to make it a little bit more continuous. And the tubes are a little bit bigger diameter. So instead of going, these are...
So it's slower in flat water. So your friends are going to push away from you in flat water because it's...
Why is it slower in flat water? Because it has early rise, or because it's bigger?
Because it's early rise, so it's deeper. Yeah, so it's has more drag.
We didn't design this for flat water. We designed this to be badass. So
okay, if you designed to be badass, why did you put so little bow and stern rise on it?
There's actually a good amount in there.
It has less bow and stern rise than the 12-foot wing model.
Yeah, the 12-foot has way too much. This is about
it has less than the 13-foot 9 model.
The 13, yeah, I have that 13.9. That's not the 13 I like. So the 12 and the 13 are old wing designs. This is a this is a newer, more, in my mind, modern thing. So it has a good amount of rise, but putting rise on a boat is tough. Like I wanted a boat that could do everything. This could be a paddle boat. This could be a gear boat. It could do anything. And this is a medium amount of rise. You might want less for some things and more for other things. I feel like that was a medium thing. We also try to make the bow a little bit blunt when it went over drop, so it didn't like hit with like a pointed bow. So to do that and not make it weird, we started turning the tubes in a little bit early as well. So one weird thing about it is, see the thwarts? The two center thwarts are just normal thwarts, but at the end thwarts taper.
Well, that's annoying.
It's annoying in terms of you have to keep track of your thwarts.
And which way you put in. People are putting them in backwards.
Yep.
And
Yep.
You grab a thwart, you get to put in, no, it's the wrong thwart. I don't know.
But Aaron, the other choice is to wait longer. So what this does is allows us to have like a 16 that's nimble like a 14. It allows us to like we got the bow rise a little bit early. We brought the boat in a little bit early. And so
I think if you're running as a paddle boat as a stern mount, that those those traits would be nice. I'd still want one more rocker on the front.
You want more rocker.
Mm-hmm. So it's too much like a Sierra Mac Creek boat right now, which at high volume just doesn't run very well. Like you hit stuff and it just stops.
So this was designed after. So I think the first boat we designed was the 14.6. We go to that one. So this is that boat, same exact design, but 3 thwarts, right? This was designed after the Sierra Mac Creek boat in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
we started with an Adventurer, and we put a bunch of stuff that was in the Sierra Mac Creek boats and those Creek wing boats, those wing boats everybody loved. And we said, what one boat can be a paddle boat for the South Fork and a gear boat for the Grand Canyon?
It would work well for those.
So this is like you have to make a lot of compromises.
I don't think it'd be. I think I look at like high water on the Tuolumne or the Foodlay Foo. I wouldn't want this boat.
Oh, dude, I would love this boat, high water on the T.
Not enough rocker.
There's more rocker than Sierra. That's the thing is we put more rocker than the Sierra Creek boats. So there's not that
still not that much though.
Aaron, it's decent rocker. It doesn't look like it because the rocker starts so early. That's the thing is it's not.
I've read it.
It's very
Zach, I'm looking. I got the dimensions up here. The bow rise is for the 14 or the 16. Are we talking about? It doesn't matter. They're about the same. The 14 is 10 and 5/8. Yeah, and then the 16 is 10 and 3/4, which is like, and then
it's more than the Sierra Mac Creek boats.
And then the diameter in the bow is too big. You got to have
the diameter of the whole. So what I did too is I made the tube diameter a little bit bigger than the Adventure and the Avon or the Pro. We just made the tube diameter a tiny bit bigger.
Yeah, but you have the side diameter. See, I think diminishing tube makes sense for the front of the boat some. Diminish the tube some going towards the front.
No way.
So it's more. So it cuts through more like a dory or something like that.
That's nonsense.
That's nonsense.
I don't believe in diminishing tubes at all.
It's physics.
So Sean, this is a good point. So the 18. Let's finish up this discussion. It's not the idea of the 14.6 and the 16 are like powerhouse boats that can do anything and are a compromise of a lot of things. I know you want the perfect high water Tuolumne boat. This isn't the perfect high water Tuolumne boat, but it's better than a Sierra Mac Creek boat for the high water Tuolumne.
The Sierra Mac Creek boats are terrible. I hated those things.
Yeah, this is better.
But
you can't own one boat that like. So if you were a Tuolumne guide, I think you'd want this boat and you would just deal high water. It's not that bad, but I'm not going to get into it. The 18 though is designed off of the Avon Super Pro, the 18-foot boat, and we really didn't change much. So if you look at the 18, so the base
the
of all
18's got 13. Yeah, that's what's funny. It's funny that the oars guide was complaining about the bow and stern raise on the 18-footer.
Well, here's the thing: is
in the wind, and it probably does. It would be easier if it was flat on the wind, but then they get to the rapids and be annoyed that they get pushed off every wave train if it had less. So,
but Aaron, they're probably not using this design. So Bill Wing designed another 18 with a ton of rocker, and we asked for this and they gave us the one Bill Wing designed, and our guides hated it. So we have that boat. I mean, and actually one of my guides ended up buying it, and it's awesome he thinks it's awesome for the Grand Canyon. But this is what we have now, and it's pretty much identical to a Super Pro. And it's what we use on the Rogue, and we're pretty stoked on this. So I don't think the guides used this 18. They used a different 18 that has Aaron, the amount of bow rise was insane.
Andrew's, I feel like, partially right on this. But I think there's a bigger variable that contributes more than this aspect.
What variable?
Well, he's talking about the shorter waterline means the boat will spin easier, which is true.
That's good.
But he's saying
lateral.
Bows being pushed laterally more often and less perfectly teed up. So you get knocked off the wave more. More important than that, I feel like, is the rise in the bow of your boat. Like that's what really is like. Because if the other thing I'll say is like if you have a really long flat boat and you don't hit it straight, you're going to get knocked off still. You know what I mean? You got to hit it straight, even if it's flat. He said a shorter waterline would correlate with boat being pushed laterally. See, I feel like if it's really fat and long, you still have that same problem. It still gets knocked off of it, and you can't bring it back because it won't slide back along the top of the water. So I think, Andrew, part of that's true, but if I'm worried about that, I'm more worried. I feel like I'm more worried about the rise. Yeah. I mean, you bring up a good point. Yeah.
You're gonna need rise for some things, and you're not gonna want to rise for other.
Where do you not want rise?
Cherry Creek.
Why?
I just want to go over drops and like have it be predictable and I don't have it push through. I want to slow down a little bit.
Okay. So the extra rise does a couple things. You shoot out of the drop a little better, which I will say, having seen some people at Blind Faith running the whole Blind Faith, having more rise in Blind Faith is helpful because it shoots you out of that hole and you don't get stopped in the hole and then come up and surf. I've seen in Blind Faith, like high sides go through and do stuff that we couldn't do in the creek boats. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, I think around high, like you say, if it's 22 inches all the way around, if you go off a drop at an angle, you're much less likely to flip. It's much more likely to absorb and come out and kind of maintain its angle. And with the less rise you slow down more for sure. And you're always trying to cut speed, but less rise also means more of your boat's in the water, which means, you draft less, but it's a lot harder to turn the boat. So
it's all trade-offs. That's the thing, is when you start designing a boat, like what I would do is I'd design it and then send it to like 5 people and get their opinions. And I'd say, do this, do that, do this, do that. And you it's a lot of little trade-offs. And that's why we started like with a little bit of rocker starting. Like it's almost unnoticeable how much that first little bit has, but it starts it off. And I honestly, I'm going to claim this boat's perfect. And of course I think that because I designed it, but it's, to me, rowing this boat on like the Illinois.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think the Illinois at low water, it's a perfect boat for that at lower water where the features aren't very big. You're not really worried about it. It looks like a great boat. I'll say that. I just like to go thump big, huge waves and just pound through them. And that's not what it's designed to do. Like when I look at a boat, when I look at a 16-foot boat, and I keep thinking of the 16-foot model of this, not the 14, to be honest.
We're looking at the 16 right now.
Yeah, we are. We are looking at
this is the 14. No, this is the 14.6. This is the 14.6. Because that's 3 thwarts.
Yeah, because before we were looking at the 4th order. And I was thinking about, when I think of a 16, I think about gearboat and I think about high volume, running huge, big waves and just being able to hey diddle diddle right down the middle. And you want rocker for that. You want to be able to get speed and maintain speed.
The thing is you can't own a rocker boat for this and a non-rocker boat for that, and then this for that. I need this to be like a paddle boat on the Rogue, a gearboat on the Illinois, a paddle boat at high water Illinois, a low water Illinois gearboat. Like I needed to do a lot of things.
I know. I understand that. Yeah. So and none of the things you need to do are running huge waves on the Tuolumne at 20,000, at 10,000.
No, but the Illinois would be similar, like running Illinois at like 3,500.
No, it's not even close. Not the same.
Yeah. I mean,
no. I mean, it's a beefy run. I think in terms of difficulty, you're right. But you're not talking about like, hey, I just need to stay on this wave train and just like.
Yeah. Which is pretty rare. Not many people are running that high water consistently. But you can't buy, if you were to buy a boat for your Tuolumne crew, you wouldn't buy the boat that runs the Tuolumne 10,000. You buy the boat that runs the river the best at a variety of flows. I mean, if I was a Tuolumne outfitter, I would not run the Tuolumne at 10,000 ever. Our cutoff would be like 4,000.
Sure.
When I was 30, it would have been 12,000. But now I don't want that liability.
I agree with Martin. Yeah, once you go more rocker, you don't go back.
That's no way.
Once you go more rocker, you don't go back.
Dude, I have this boat. Hold on, let me go back. This is the 13.9 running. I did not design this boat.
I feel like 13-foot boats are tricky. I've not
13.9, so it's basically a 14.
Yeah, the 13 some odd foot boats I just find tricky. Like I've not seen very many of them that I really like their design. I like the 14 and up just seems to work better. Like 14.6 and higher seem to work better, or smaller, like the 12s, or the 10 to 12 work well. 14 to 16 work well. 18's great.
I mean, so the
13 always seem awkward. Like I feel like no one's really figured out a great 13-foot boat. Maybe Air has one.
First of all, you're wrong. Oh, really, Bum Bum? How'd you do that? That's cool. So I think You're wrong, Aaron.
About which
First of
part?
all, everything. Air does have 13-foot boats dialed. Their 13 designs are sick. They're
I was
dialed.
just saying Air probably. I thought Air might have a good 13.
I have
Which one is it? The
the
Super
wing-
Puma.
No, the 130D, the 130R, because it's not diminishing. But if you want a little bit, diminish the D. But let me go back to this. But I think, and then I have a 13-foot boat based off these other designs I showed you that is money. Aaron, it is so amazing. You would love it. It doesn't have the rocker you want. And I get the rocker. So this is Wings original 13.9. Sometimes I like the rocker. It's super cool. I'm like, cool, rocker. But if I want one boat to do everything, this is not it. I would not want to run the wind with this. It's not. I've done the wind with this. I don't.
Well,
it's fine. I don't want to do the rogue with this. Like where my little 13.
Which is this? Which one do you know?
The one I'm showing right now. This is a 13.9 with all the rocker.
How much rocker does that have?
12 3/4.
Okay.
It has a lot, annoying amount. And then when you put people up front, it's just weird. I'm not a fan of this design, but I have one. It's fun. We use it in certain times.
Zach, I would think we need to go next time I'm busy. We'll have to race the wind with this and then race the wind with another boat and see what we should. That'd be fun to take it down. And
rocker doesn't make you faster.
I had certain places you down. In certain places, rocker makes
it might
you
power through holes, but like in the flat water, it's going to slow you down.
Yeah, a little bit.
Races are one in the flat water.
Here's the deal, though. Here's the deal, though, is like the flat water is really concerned about before you start to rise out of the water. If your boat is 1/4 of an inch out of the water or 4 inches out of the water, it doesn't matter because it's not, that part's not in the water. Yeah, okay, wind, I'll give you a little bit of the wind resistance.
No,
and we may paddle fast enough to have that wind resistance, but on a non-windy day, if it's out of the water, it doesn't matter. So the front, if it's 3 inches off or if it's 6 inches off, the 6 inches is going to be faster.
It's not, because where you get really slowed down on races is hitting a wave and having it like push you back.
Exactly.
And you're saying what you're saying is you'll go over it. Yeah, but you won't always. You won't always. What you want to do is be on the racing. You want to be on the edge of the wave trains.
I know.
And just powering down the edge and not hitting the big waves.
But if you're going over a drop and your boat's straight flat, it's going to stop in there. If it's got rocker, it's going to shoot forward and keep going.
Yeah, but I think you make up for it by more than that in the flats, because I want a long water line when I'm racing.
If Willie Bum Bum, he likes rocker too, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Right. I think Zach, I think you need to spend more time in some boats with rocker.
I do. I rode them all the time, and I paddle them all the time. I have boats with rocker. What I'm saying is I enjoy less rocker personally. So that 14.6 and the 16. If it was designed for me, I would have put less rocker in there. To me, that was a compromise. That was an in between. Like, hey, you know what? This is more than I personally want, but let's put a medium amount of rocker in this boat so it can handle a variety of things.
Now we need to talk about two different parts: where your rocker your rice starts, and how far up it goes at the front. I would start it late, but have it go up high.
You'd start it late, and I disagree. I'd start it early and have it go medium. We're just disagreeing.
Yeah, that makes your boat way slower. My boat's gonna be way faster.
Speed doesn't matter. Aaron, you don't even like speed.
What are you talking about?
Like you're a kind of person that goes over a drop, dump momentum, back paddle, go. You like to be in control. You don't like to power down things. You're a backer, not a pusher.
And that's not true at all. I'm not a backer. I'm
You're
a floater, if anything.
What is it? Bigger slashes, like bigger cuts?
Bigger slashes with less rocker? What does that mean?
I think he's saying when you hit a rock, maybe it's a bigger cut of boat.
Well, this boat right now has a lot of rocker.
All right, let's move on from this. I just wanted to follow up because you guys knew nothing about the wing boats. The bottom line is they're based after the Avon series, but the 14 we made a 14.6 because I feel like a 14.6 can just do a little bit more. So
I like the 14.6. I think that's a nice
bigger
splash. That's exactly why Zach likes it.
It's not true.
It's because it's all splashy. He made those one boats that didn't have any rocker. What'd you call those things? The dump trucks? What were those
There's
called?
a bunch of them. Yeah, they have no rocker. They're awesome. There's a flatbed is the 16. The super tanker is the 18. and there's a 4x4 that's a 13,
The 4x4, yeah.
and the dually is the 15. The dually was sick. It's a great boat. Okay, well, this week we're going to look at some footage. First, we're looking at a little bit of drift boat footage, and our friend AJ from Oozle sent us some videos to review, so we're looking at those first. And this is our friend Eric. Aaron, have you ever rode a drift boat?
A dory, which is similar.
I'd be super scared. I'm really afraid of doing this.
Yeah, I think a dory and drift boat handle similar, and I think they've got similar concepts to them. But they've got similar shapes. They're lining them.
This is the fish ladder. I don't think they row these. I mean, I think lining is the way to go.
Yeah. Is that stuff even rigged in the back of the boat, or is it just thrown in there?
It's thrown in there. So first of all, I love their drift boat style. He's got rubber boots on. Now that's guy
does he have a life jacket on? Oh, he does.
He has a life jacket on. So that's usually drift boaters don't have a life jacket on, but these guys do. He's got look at the beer, the Miller Lite in the back. See the box of Miller Lite?
Nice.
Nothing.
If they're really cool, they bring bottled beer. I mean,
well, he has that Yeti cooler. I'm guessing that's what's in there.
Yeah.
Now we're just so you guys know, we're novices. We don't know what we're doing. So please tell us if we don't know. I'm guessing those 2 oars are spares.
That's an interesting rig on the Swars. I didn't know that's how people did those there. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I haven't paid attention.
That looks hard to ship it looks messy to ship your oars with them right there like that. Maybe you don't ship your oars.
I think they do.
Yeah, I haven't seen it like that. I've seen them up on the rail. That's how I've seen them on one side on the rail. I'm sure there's a reason why he's doing it.
It's pretty smart. It's easy access. Like if you break or lose one, you just grab it.
Yeah, your handle's sticking outside though. I'd worry about hitting your handle against a rock or something. Maybe he's good enough he doesn't have to worry about that. But if you're good enough, you don't have to worry about hitting a rock. You're probably good enough you don't have to worry about breaking an oar either. So,
I mean, I'm curious which belt buckle he has, like how big his belt buckle is. That's an important factor here. By the way, check it out. We have new Gear Garage coffee mugs.
Whoa. Wow.
Yep, I gotta send you one.
Man, that is outstanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta get you one.
Oh.
And so this looks interesting to me. If I really am afraid I would sink one. Because I like a rubber boats. I like to be surgical and I like to row well. But I also like to look at birds and doze off and not pay attention. There's Eric right there.
Oh, it's Eric Weiss.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I told Eric we'd be reviewing it. Eric, which belt buckle is it? Is it OGPA belt buckle or something bigger?
Let's get something more important. Eric, do you always rig your spare oars like that? I haven't seen that before. That's interesting. Is that the way everyone does it? Is that like the drift boat method? Oh, they got their poles on the side there. Yeah,
I think they're called rods, Aaron.
Oh, rods.
Fishing rod.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't you a fishing guide?
I am a commercial fishing guide now. So yeah, I should know these things. Yeah, worked one trip. He's really pulling a lot backwards just to trying to slow down, huh?
I mean, I think that's what they do. I think it's a lot of pulling.
Yeah, I know when you're fishing, I didn't expect it to be so much even when he was just running without them fishing.
Oh, you know what? Okay. It is a fisheye lens.
Oh, yeah, because Eric, you're like, whoa, those seem crazy. Okay.
I mean, Eric, I also wonder why you're not wearing jeans. I'm wondering what kind of cowboy boots you have on. Here we're at Slim Pickens. Somebody mentioned Slim Pickens was exciting.
Ooh.
I mean, Aaron, that answers your question about shipping. Let me go back and find that one. So here we are. I wonder why. Hold on. So this is Slim Pickens. The line is normally left here, but it's pretty low. This is super low, and there's a bunch of rocks on the left at this level. Like we had a gearbook, it's stuck right here, so I'm hyper aware of how low the rocks are. And here's that old piece of mining dredge at the entrance to Slim Pickens. It's usually covered, but now it's like a foot out of the water. So he's taking this right line, which goes, but in a gear boat, you'd have to ship your oars by shipping them correctly, like blades forward. But it looks like drift boaters don't do that.
Oh yeah, he just let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the deep line, huh? Where you're not going to hit rocks.
Yeah, and you're in a
Yeah,
smaller
there you
boat.
go. There you go, Eric. Line is never left in a drift boat in the fall. Yeah.
Eric, when you say ship your oars, do you mean like ship? Like, because there's different people called it shores. Ship them blades forward, or pull them in. Like, is that a ship on the right kind of right now? Well, no. This is impressive. I didn't even know Eric rode drift boats.
Okay, Eric, how many times have you flipped one of these things? Or maybe just in general, how often do they flip and do they actually sink? Or is there some like little air pockets in them that keep them from sinking? Never pull them forward or backward.
Okay, so he ships them forward like we do in rafts and also throws the handles. Of course they are. Duh. They're on. I'll try to find them. They're on the Northwest Rafting Company website.
I got Zach. I got it.
Okay. I gotta make them. I want to give them to members somehow, or like do a contest for some. But they're definitely available. I think it's my.nwrafting.com/shop. Yeah, I would guess one sinks a year. And then when they sink, you can't get them, right? They're just gone, right? They're just trash. Like it's not falling.
So Eric, is this like Zach wanting to be cool and not having? Is it cool just to not have any flotation in the boat? Because like you could build one with flotation in it.
What does that have to do with me?
Because you always like to look cool and be the cool guy.
All right, whatever.
Or you are the cool guy.
Hold on. Let's get back to that. Right here, he's doing that. It's like the left side.
Oh yeah. It's totally clears. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah. Okay.
No, I think. Where are you gonna put that flotation, Aaron?
Like in the stern and the bow. Have a little
just big bags.
No, in the bow have a compartment like they have on dories.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I would not want to look that dorky. Like if you're gonna row a drip boat, you have to look just like this. You have to have your Miller Lite in the back. You have to have your nets, your rods out there.
And you have to be like, yeah, if I sink it, I lose it. Oof.
So the coffee pots, those who don't know on the Rogue, it's super narrow. I mean, how many drip boats could be sunk down there? Like over the years, there's got to be 20. At some point, are enough going to sink to where they reach the surface?
Wow, GoPro adder. So my experience, and Eric, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is with the dories. Is like those boats are really fun to row when they're light, but as soon as you get a little too much weight in them, they become really difficult to row because they just sit so deep in the water, and then they draft so much water to move them becomes much more difficult, and they catch a lot of currents. And so I really think they're really fun when the boats are light, but when they get heavier, they are a chore. And you've got to always be on it. I think one of the reasons he's rowing backwards all the time so he can point his nose into everything so people aren't going to get so wet, if that makes sense, and slowing down so you're not getting everyone so splashed. But that's just a guess. Oh, there we go. Well done, Zach.
Yeah, good job. I talked at a time. Eric, awesome job rowing. I had no idea that was in your skill set. Eric is super talented. He's a badass kayaker, guide, rafter. I went supping with him once when I was supping a lot, and he crushed me. He's just a supernatural athlete. And then next thing you know, he's rowing drip boats down the road, which is something I want to do someday, but I'm honestly afraid to do. All right, let's move on. So, do you know what Meadow Camp is, Aaron?
Oh man, that music's awesome.
Do you know about Meadow Camp? What it is?
I have no idea.
So it's on the Deschutes. It runs, I think, through, but I've never done it, and it's a place I should have gone at some point. It's just like a classic run near Bend. It's class 4. People say it's super.
Okay, I've done that. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a long time ago. I lived in Redmond for a summer way back in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about it. I keep missing my chance to go up there, and there's a race here every year. And all I know about it is people tell me it's too narrow to row, that it can't be rowed, which, it makes me mad. Like, it makes me want to do it because people say it's not possible.
Have you done this race?
No, I've never done the run. I love racing. And I think R2 racing is my favorite because it only takes 2 of you. Like R5 racing, you have to find 4 people that want to get yelled at.
Yeah, R2 is great. R5 is a chore.
Yeah, I mean, you're both actively involved. If you have a swimmer, if you flip, it's not 5 people. It's just the 2 of you. It's safer, I think.
This is pretty full on. I mean, it's rowable, but it's full on.
I mean, so far, I've been told it's not rowable, but whatever. By people I trust.
Oh, come on. So
far, everything I've seen is rowable. The people I trust say it's not. I've never even seen footage of this run, so this is all new to me. That's all rowable.
It's going to be all rowable, Zach. There's no way.
But these guys are crushing it.
They are. They look really good shape. Yeah.
They're up.
Whoa, Gates. Oh, this is a serious race. When is it? What time of year is this race?
It's in the summer. I'm always busy guiding trips when it happens. I've heard of a boat getting stuck in a dam over here. Some kind of there's some man-made stuff. I mean, these guys are doing all the things you need to do well on
race. Is this real speed or is this like fast forward?
I don't know. It kind of does look fast forward. They're crushing it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's fast forward. Or maybe it's just weird for me where I'm seeing it.
Don't you wish they had more rocker, Aaron? Would they be faster with rocker here?
I think they're leaning back enough to get that nose up.
So if you have the ability to get the nose up, you don't need the rocker.
We'll see. I haven't been paying attention to that. I've been looking for shipping oars. They're not getting driven much. So I think R2ing is interesting. That's a good point with the R2. Right in here they'd be going a little faster.
I don't think so. Their nose has been up pretty much the whole time.
Right there, they'd be going faster. They wouldn't have gotten slowed down there.
But I mean, they won. I know they won this race.
Well, they're obviously superstars. Jesus.
They know the line. They're crushing at their paddling. Imagine if they had a lighter boat with rocker and better paddles.
You agreeing with me that they want more rocker?
I do, yeah. If I want to race this, I want more rocker than that. If I'm racing this section, yeah, for sure.
And I'd want a stiffer boat.
That's what I'm saying, like a light wing or a Sotar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the end of the touch right there. There's nothing there I wouldn't row. Huh, that was sweet.
Yeah, it looks like a fun section. Yeah, if it runs all summer, that's outstanding.
Yeah, I need to go kayak it. I keep missing kayaking it. That was awesome. All right, and they sent us. Oh, look, he's got the knife. One of the knives we're talking about on the shoulder, the bear claw. All right, let's move on to the next one. And so we're back in Bend here.
I like up on the shoulder the way he had that knife. That looked nice and out of the way.
Yeah, I mean the problem with the bear claw. Oh shoot! Hold on. Wait, is it being shared right now? Oh man, the way Vimeo is going to work is going to cause me some problems. But we're going to do our best. I'm just going to make it big. Can you still see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is Benham Falls on the Deschutes. So this is upstream. And
turn it down.
All right. Oh, there's in a paddleboarder. I think that's somewhere else. This is.
No, that looks like.
Oh, that was sweet.
Is that the white salmon?
No. I think that's called. I think it's like Steelhead Falls on the Deschutes. I think.
Whoa. Oh.
Was that on purpose?
Oh.
I think was that a trick he did on purpose?
No, it wasn't. He just rolled up. Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Man. Oh.
This looks like somebody who lost his him and his friend fell out and they lost their paddles. He's just holding on for dear life.
Doesn't have spare paddles? Or maybe he's going back to get it. No, he just slid over.
I mean, honestly, that might be the best way to run a big rapid is just hold on to the raft. There we go. So this is Benham Falls. I've seen this. I've hiked near it. I never paddled it. It's really big.
This boat's got a nice rocker on it.
So that's the air.
And it goes to a point, and it goes to a point on the front. It goes to a tight point on the front.
Yeah.
So it cuts through stuff.
This is the air, the E series. It has a point in the front and not in the bow. That, you know, who I think are the best Raptors in the world, Jeff Compton and Dan, I forget Dan's last name, Dan McCain. This is what they run when they run the Super Nars, that pointy fronted air. I'm not a big fan, but they proved it does a job. This is big. This is that same boat, that E series. Yeah, I mean, you saw right there where that rocker really kept them up, though. Watch this.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Glad you had the rocker right here too.
Yep. Boom.
That rocker pops them up.
Yeah, and they just keep going. They don't fill with water. Just keep going.
That's a good view. Here's a good shot of the E series. So again, it has this like pointy bow to power through things, and the wide stern.
Can I ask a question? Are you a big fan of R-2?
No, I've only seen disasters.
That's right. You and Vlad and Tom Freer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was kayaking. I wasn't in the boat.
Oh, you were.
I was there though.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to drive Vlad out. We put a life jacket. We had to drive him out Lumsden Road, and he had broken ribs, and we just put a life jacket on him to keep his ribs tight. And the whole drive up, he's like, "Oh, every bump, oh, the whole 6 miles out."
Oh.
That stand-up paddling was cool. These are some good boaters. I boated with Thomas and Hans and Kira before. There's some pretty solid boaters.
That's not even the end of the video, though. The video goes on for how much longer?
Kings. Laura Reedman. Hey, Kayaker Laura. Or not, I mean, Earth Laura.
Yeah, wow.
So, you know, Laura works in Bend.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, you know, she's been working Grand Canyon trips, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she just got off. She comes to Hood River sometimes and surprises us. Yeah, here we go. Earth Laura getting after it. Is this maybe this is the Carnage reel?
Oh,
there they go. How do you all fall out of a boat and the boat doesn't flip?
Oh,
that throwback. Somebody just threw a throwback. That's
useless.
Not
very helpful right there.
Like that's hold on. That's a good example in my mind of what not to do. They're not expecting it. They can't see it. It's only going to make the situation worse. Where are you going to pull them to?
Where are you going to pendulum into? Oh God. Oh,
there's whoever's setting safety there is just no help. That's all the fun.
Is there more? Is there more of the keep point? Let's see a little more.
That's it.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh. Willie Bumham had an interesting point about stuff breaking collarbones, having stuff on your lapel. That's an interesting thought, Willie Bumham. Having broken my collarbone.
You mean so like putting your PFD on your? I mean putting your knife here.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, on your collarbone.
I really disagree with putting knives here. I mean, I disagree with a lot of knife stuff, so that's to be expected. But just a couple of issues with this. First of all, you can get it with this hand easily, but it's harder to pull it with this hand. So you're losing one hand access up here. And some knives, the way you pull them out, they'll cut your throat. So like if I put this here and I pull that in a rush, I can slit my throat. You see a lot of bear claws up here where like the bear claw with that curved blade is ready to just come out, and it wants to come out like this. When
your enemy comes up behind you, grabs your friend, they can just pull it out and cut your neck, and so it's a bad idea to have it there like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. All right, I think not that video, but yeah, I mean that's another reason.
Willie Blum has another. Sorry,
I'll let you answer that while I get to my next thing.
The pointy nose square back raft like the ear series is supposed to ride up big hits straight. Yeah, I can see how that would work well. It's getting the push from behind, pops through. Yeah.
And I mean, I when I saw that boat, I thought it was ridiculous. I like a square front because I want to go over a hit and not have it turn off the hit. But I think they nailed it with the E series design. And like I said, Dan and Jeff just crushing some of the hardest. I mean, they just do little white laps in that boat over and over and over is a testament to how good it is. And honestly, the little white is maybe the hardest. It's not the hardest thing ever rafted, but it's pretty close. And they're just doing it over and over and over. It really says something about that boat. All right, here we go. Capboating. So this. Oh, let me get the audio thing fixed. These are Vimeo, so they're harder to deal with. So this is somebody that looks like capboating. This is called Lava Island. I think this is just downstream of Benham Falls, I believe.
Yes, some of the shoes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this
looks pretty full on.
Yeah.
He looks very calm.
Yeah, looks good.
Wow, he's pretty chill. He's doing great.
Whoa! Nice.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's definitely going to fast forward now.
Wow, there's a lot more to this. What do you think? His oar length looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he looks really stable in the boat. You know,
looks like he's having to lean it forward a little bit. Like, see how he has like his feet down? Oh, he looks better there when he puts his feet up on the feet things. I mean, what do you think about how he's dressed for how continuous the water is?
Is he wearing a wetsuit?
No, it's shorts and chacos.
No, he's wearing a wetsuit, Zach. Isn't he?
Or
is that a t-shirt?
That's a cutoff t-shirt.
Oh, I thought it was a Farmer John wetsuit.
No.
It's probably hot there in the middle of the summer. That being said, it's nice to have a little padding, you know. So
it is called Lava Falls. I'm guessing it's lava rock. My other thing is I mean, they keep harping on this. I don't see any downstream safety. Is he the first boat down? And if he is, why is he not looking back?
Yeah.
Oh, there he's looking back at something. It looks like. But you know, he's super exposed. In my mind right now, I'm thinking, what happens if I swim? Who's gonna save me? And that's
Zach, I'm gonna say this. Who's gonna save him if he is the first boat through that?
Okay, so hold on. I think we're at that river house section because I recognize this from the last video. And I saw some video of somebody rowing. Hold on. I think that was the lava fall section. I should know this because it's in my backyard, but I don't. At some point, we finished Lava Falls. Now we're in the Meadow Camp section. But I have a friend who I believe their boat got stuck in this area over here on the right. Like they made a mistake, and there's some like man-made water intake, and a boat got stuck over there. I've seen a photo of that. So that's how I know it. I'm pretty sure we're in Meadow Camp.
Okay.
So for people to say this can't be rowed, he looks like he's doing great.
There you go. That's kind of great that you followed that up with here's somebody rowing it. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like, there's things that I thought it can be rowed, and people go and row them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also kayakers. Remember, kayakers used to say, "Well, you can't raft. You can't raft that."
Yeah, that just makes you want to go do it more. So I'm really careful.
That's not raftable, and you're like, yeah. It is.
When people ask me about a run, sometimes when I say that's not raftable, I'm like, oh, they're gonna go do it and prove me wrong. Like I shouldn't have said that because they're gonna prove me wrong. Sometimes I say to push them to do it. I'm like, it probably is raftable, and I want somebody to do it. If I say that, it'll motivate them to go do it and prove me wrong, and I'm kind of curious what happens. All right, so those are some videos from AJ. Thanks, AJ, for sharing those with us.
Arbuck.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking about is that there's a lot of swimming there. All right, we have 2 more videos, and then this one is crazy. I didn't watch. I watched the first couple seconds. This is a crocodile. Why is it making it big on me today?
You want to hit the sound?
Yeah.
Luckily we don't have to deal with that in North America when we're whitewater rafting. Oof.
Oh, you lost your paddle, bro. Oh, Jesus. I mean, isn't this?
He lost 2 paddles.
Don't you think PETA would get mad about this?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
This kind of is
PETA gets mad about everything.
animal abuse.
Animal abuse, trying to keep the crocodile from killing you.
Yeah, they're just beating it. I guess this is self-defense. That's crazy.
Now he gets back in the kayak and goes. All right.
No way. I would not. I'm out. Once I saw that, I am out. There's no way.
Oh, that's amazing footage. Oh, I wonder if there's techniques. What's the preferred technique? They were looking pretty stressed. It doesn't look like a relaxed, like, okay, do this to keep them off. It was like, dude, we need to get out.
I mean, are they carrying a gun? I mean, I don't want to shoot a crocodile. So maybe you start with the paddles. But I would not be in a kayak. Zero way I'd be in a kayak there. I mean, in a raft, what if the crocodile, I mean,
yeah, pops the raft.
Pops the raft. And you're like, oh, we only have 3 tubes.
Yeah, once the crocodiles figure out, hey, we just popped the raft, they sink, then we get to eat all of them. I mean,
maybe. I mean, what if you had just some chickens you could throw out there or something, just to, like, some snacks?
So then they always want to come up and then they're like, where are our snacks?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there come the snack boats. So Blue Cobra shared that last video and this one. Are wanting the Grand Canyon solo.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. That was day 1.
I mean, is it? I'm going to take the other side here.
What do you mean? Oh! Oh, he got back over.
We don't know he did. He just
flipped it back over. Flipped it back over. I gotta do a lot better job seeing the holes. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Oh man.
I mean,
surfed.
He's by himself. He's solo. Is he solo boating? I mean, is this called solo boating? There's people out there. There's other trips.
Yeah, he's solo boating
by himself.
He's solo boating. No one else is necessarily around him.
Is this his first time down?
Why are you not able to scout horn from the left side? Oh yeah, you don't want to be scouting. You're running horn from the left.
Whoa. Do you think he does? So he doesn't know. He's probably never done the canyon.
Maybe. I mean, you could scout from the right and still run left if you scout from far enough. This is a nice line. He has a great line here. That's not bad at all. That was a great line. Well, he looks well. He's got a dry suit on, yeah.
He's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, yeah. He's got lots of videos, so we'll know what happened. I love those gloves. Have you ever used those gloves? I actually really like those gloves.
No.
Those work gloves like that.
No, I'm not a nerd like you.
This looks pretty fun. I don't know about his perimeter line thing. That looks a little, yeah.
I have a couple of safety issues, but I also appreciate a good adventure.
Yeah.
And this guy has decided to go on this massive lifetime adventure. It's not, I don't think it's that dangerous. I mean,
I'm also a big fan of the buffs. Wearing a buff when you're paddling to protect your dry suit and protect yourself. Yeah,
how did he do that?
He's probably got a flip line on the bottom of it.
That was just fine.
That's exactly what he wanted to do. You wanted to flip over on purpose in the raft. Oh, this is Herman, huh?
R1ing makes it hard to high side.
That boat's pretty loaded down too. I mean,
that is crazy.
I mean, that would be an adventure, doing it by yourself.
Yeah, like not knowing anything, just figuring it out as you go. And I mean, like I said, there's some certain safety things here, but
what's hard is high siding enough, but not too much.
He's here to like have a lifetime experience with his camera. That was impressive.
Yeah. 29 seconds later. That's a long time.
Flip that back over.
I think it's so heavy. Yeah, Willie Bum Bum. Yeah, Zach, another point right there.
I know. I clicked it. I saw it.
Yes.
Oh, you get a point. I don't think she's still doing the thing. I have to check it. Waltenberg.
He always paddles on the left, which is interesting for the whole trip. I'd want to switch sides every day or something.
I'm not sure what Bust is talking about here. Do you know, Aaron?
Bit of a stretch, bud. Don't know what he's talking about as a stretch, but sure. Oh, yeah.
Would you use an entire Grand Canyon permit to do a solo trip?
He's going during the winter. Probably picked up a last minute one that came up.
Yeah, that's true.
He couldn't organize someone, so this isn't the middle of the summer clearly. So, or it doesn't look that winter, but I mean, it's kind of cool in a way. Spend 2 weeks down there by yourself. I mean, that's like think of like what other type of adventure could you do like that? And not easily too, like just to be like, hey, okay, I'm gonna try middle of a pandemic. I'm assuming, not flying another country or something else like that. Just go do it. Like, that's pretty cool. Like that. I mean, that's actually really neat.
That's cool. I'm gonna check this guy's channel.
Yeah.
That's cool. He had safety. So he's definitely experienced. He knows what he's doing. I mean, obviously his high sides are pretty awesome. I mean, this is your kind of trip, though, the simplicity here, not too much fluff.
Yeah, totally. No, I think it's beautiful. I mean, what I think would be even more fun is to have like a partner, and you each have a boat, and you go together, 2 people with each
2 R1s.
Yeah, I think that would be really neat.
Then you have somebody to talk to in the evening.
Yeah, and you have someone to watch your back, in terms of safety. Yeah. I encourage our crew to watch it. Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
I'm going to watch it now. I'm curious what he says. I didn't watch this before we put it up there, but I'm curious to hear what he has to say with the trip.
That's cool. That looks really neat. And you can take all his gear with him. It's kind of like the old school when they used to go canoeing forever. Like you just get out there and do your big trip. So
would you?
Go ahead.
Would you kayak it like that, or do you like the adventure of the R1?
Actually, for some reason, the R1ing is appealing to me with those features and stuff like that. Like, okay, I flip, whatever. I just hold on to my paddle. Versus like oars, like I could row a small raft down there, or I could hard shell kayak it, but you couldn't take enough stuff. Like you can take more gear that way. You're more comfortable. You can spread out, move around. It's going to be a little slower, but
I mean, what would the flat water be like?
I mean, it's not. There's most of the time there's current. So there's always current, and I don't think like his boat's low enough he can keep his paddling. He can keep going. It's not too bad. If it's windy, might be a little bit of a problem. But above lava probably was a bummer. That was probably annoying.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you have 2 of you, if like 2 of them, you just clip your boats together for the platform.
That's a good idea. Mark Rivers, come a PT, come a DPT, come a badass. Have we brought him up before on the show? We reviewed his video. They small boated, rode it, which is kind of the same thing with a bunch of friends. The idea of keeping it small and simple.
I think that would be fun too, is taking a small boat. Oh man, we've got all these new members. Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for being a member. It's fun for us. It makes us feel, honestly, makes us feel really good.
I feel it's motivating to continue to do the show.
Yeah.
Then when you're people are that psyched on it. Yeah.
And it like a high quality, not like now we feel pressure to make sure we're not too terrible. Like Aaron will start the show not eating a sandwich finally. You've been really professional lately, Aaron. And your look right now, you have the look. Like with the whole thing, you got the earbud, you got the whole vlogger look, the earbuds coming out.
Oh, really?
Nice patty on your shirt. Yep. You look very, very, you look good today.
Well, one big thing is I just don't have a bunch of white stuff on my face. So.
Oh, yeah. I did notice that from the last show. You had your sunscreen on.
Yeah. Some days it's hard to get off nose. I didn't go surfing this morning, so no sunscreen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
thank you, Joni, for being a member.
Yeah. Thank you. Very definitely. Sweet. So is this our show, Zach? Are we wrapping
I
it here?
think that's a wrap. Unless you feel like covering it. Any of us has any questions or wants us to go over anything?
No. I will say, as part of our wrap up, like if you guys do have stuff you would like to hear us yawn on about, and or videos review, or just questions or stuff you'd like us to talk about more, feel free to send me an email, aaron@riversandoceans.com. Also, Zach is talking about starting to do wind, so please.
When I go to the wind, I'm definitely bringing some wind footage. I still haven't been, and it's running tomorrow, but I hurt my foot today, so I'm not sure I can go tomorrow. So it might be a couple more weeks before I do wind. But if I go to the wind, I'm bringing footage. That's just fun. And we won't do a whole show of it, but I'll bring something.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah.
Hey, before we finish, so Aaron, I want to have one more quick talk.
Okay.
This knife. I'm going to do a review on it. Yes or no? Or a scale of 1 to 5.
Well, I haven't seen it in person. The handle is probably, I'd say my biggest concern is the handle. The all metal handle, and it looks small, and I don't know. Metal just gives me the impression of slippery and like cold and like hard to hold on to. So I'm like, it doesn't seem better than, I'll just put it this way. If I were to buy one, some of the other knives you've shown before, I think are better. And
external knives. That's the question. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a couple. I have a couple over here real quick because I want to have this quick discussion because I'm about to do some videos about this.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
This is my collection. I've been having to buy these knives. Sorry, I'm limping because I hurt my foot. I have this collection of knives because people like review them, buy them.
Blue Puma brings up a great point.
About PETA people?
No. That's
doesn't float hard. No.
I agree. I want the floating handle.
They don't float. No knives float. No knives float.
Yeah, they do. They make safety knives for sailing that float.
Wait, is this a hint that we should finish early? They're like, hey, stop talking. I want to see the outro. Let's get this over with.
Maybe you just say that to be nice and just let us know you enjoy the outro.
Okay, let me do a quick talk. This knife sucks. Anybody that owns this knife,
which one's that?
This is the dive.
Here, I'll do it. I got it. There you go.
Oh, yeah, you have control. I forgot. This is that dive knife thing that has a good like the in and out, but it's sharp on one edge. The serration doesn't cut rope. I'm not a fan of this knife. This is the new Gerber one. It barely cuts rope.
I like that Gerber. I like the handle on that one. The handle's
no, it's got the action, the finger action to open it. It's got an awesome handle, but it's barely. Look at this. It's barely serrated. Like this, This barely cuts rope. It's okay.
It's $30.
It's kind of bulky. And then the bear claw, right? The bear claw, I'm a fan of. One thing I was to tell you is Brody puts a bear claw under the front thing of his Astral. So he has an internal knife, and he has this thing as a backup that you can't see, which is kind of cool. This is the Witchard one. Did I show you this one?
I'm not sure.
This one's sick. It has you grab that, it comes out full serrated edge, cut ropes pretty well, has a nice handle.
I don't like the little thing you got to squeeze on to pop it out, though. Just let me pull it out and go.
The problem is they pop out on their own. That's a big issue.
Not if you wear them like this on your side.
Whatever. People don't do that, Aaron. I like the squeeze thing. So I think these are the two people have been asking me about. And I just got this today. So of the two, I think I prefer this one if I'm going to do an external knife. But this one's interesting. But I'm about to do a video on it. So
let's bring up that fluorescent one again. How does that one? That one looks a lot thicker.
You would love the handle, Aaron. The handle
awesome. Looks good. I think that's how much does that one cost?
I think it's $89. It's about the same as this one.
I would buy that one over the orange one, but I would buy my Gerber just because it's cheap.
You would buy this one?
Yeah, I love that knife.
Yeah, but it doesn't cut rope. I mean, it has it's a full serrated edge, blunt tip. It just comes out. This one barely stays in. It almost wants to fall out like this. Well, here's my handmade. Keep it on my PFD thing.
Zach, I've never lost mine wearing it underneath on my side. So
Yeah, let's end the show. You're frustrating me now.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, guys. Okay.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
I was
Thanks,
just
John.
kidding. I was
Thanks,
just
John. Hey, here, we got to get Zach off the big screen.
Let's put you up.
There we go.
Aaron has control now with me. So
this is my first day of having control and getting to be involved with this. So, yeah. Oh, how'd you do that?
Oh, if I click, so when you're at the bottom, if I click your, see how there's photos of us at the bottom that nobody can see?
Yeah.
If I click the person icon in the upper.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good.
All right. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, enough playing around with our technology. You guys clearly are probably not interested in this. Hey, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in today. Like I said, if you guys have any video, love to get some new video. And you can send that to me, Aaron at riversnotions.com. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit it now to help with all the algorithms. So what is the name of our show? The Zach
Aaron and Zach's better than
mediocre. All right, better than mediocre. So we'll go global, and and we'll get lots of people watching.
Global. We're already global. We've had people from around the world watch this.
That's a good point. So, and then if you haven't done so, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified anytime new comes on. Zach, and what's our goal by the end of the year? How many people do you want to be on your Gear Garage channel?
12 million.
And where are you at right now?
6,000.
Oh, you're close. We're going to get there.
We got a little work to do, but we're going to get there.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Zach. Thanks for putting all those videos together. That was a lot of fun. And you guys, thanks.
No, I didn't do anything. Thank you, AJ and Blue Puma, for sending them to us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, Blue Puma and AJ. Yes.
Hey, Blue, speaking of that, that's funny. They're not shitty. They're just different. I'm going to try to be nice to the River Knives. But what I've been thinking of is once I do these Gear Garage videos about a couple more River Knife ones, I might just we can do a contest and the winners can, I'll mail them. Because they're literally just sitting here useless to me once I've reviewed them and talked about them.
And if you do a contest, I think whoever wins gets to choose theirs, and then the next person gets to choose the remaining ones, and the remaining ones, and the remaining ones.
Yeah, or maybe every week we do a contest. Like you got to do something to win a contest for this one that week. I also could keep them for my rowing school classes. And so, hey, check out the knives. Sorry, I get this.
Maybe just give away the really junky ones.
No, I don't even own the really junky ones. I don't even own an NRS one. Those are the ones that are the worst. I mean, just I refuse to buy one of those to review it. They're that bad.
I didn't know it's that bad if you've never tried it.
I have. I've seen other people's. I've used them. I try to cut rope with them. They're pretty bad. I mean, you get what you pay for. I'll just leave it at that. I don't actually have those. And everybody who comes to our classes has them. So I have to be like, hey, what I should do, I should probably keep these, but hey, try to cut rope with your knife and then try one of these.
Once again is the name of the cool one that we just like that's the sheathed one? What's that called?
The sheathed one?
Yeah. The remember the sheath knife, the yellow sheath knife you just showed me? What's that one called?
The Wichard. This one?
Yeah, how do you spell that?
Wichard. It's like the Wichard. I did a Gear Garage video about it recently. The Wichard rescue knife. It's on West Marine. Go to West Marine's website. It's where you buy them. It's pretty sweet. Hey, maybe we'll do a contest with gear. I have a bunch of gear in here. We can do a contest. Maybe I should keep these for my rowing classes so people can test different knives out. I shouldn't have said any of that. I take all that back.
Well, it's good to have them around when you get a new one so you can compare the new one to the old one.
That's what's been really cool. Like, people don't know their knife sucks until they put their hands on some other knife. And you can't go to a store and try them all out. So having them when I teach a class, like, hey, you should make a decision for which one you like based on your PFD, how big your hands are. Do you do cold weather boating, warm weather boating? There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not just a simple, this one's the best.
Yeah, totally.
That means rolling on the floor laughing, just so you know, Aaron. It's I don't know what that is, though. Asberms. All right, let's shut this down.
All right, great. Well, you guys have a great week, and we'll be back next Friday. Next
Friday's Black Friday.
Oh, are we going to be here for Black Friday?
I'll be in Reno. I can do it.
I'm not going out to
We should do a
stores.
Black Friday shopping spectacular.
Ooh, the haul. So yeah. What
So, like,
holiday gift to get to you for your favorite rafter?
We'll work on. That's what we'll work on. If anybody has suggestions, email them to Aaron.
Yes.
And
best rafting. That sounds like a really fun episode. Yeah.
We'll do a Friday rafting shopping show.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm excited. I'm super pumped all of a sudden. This will be great.
Yeah, me too. All right, bye everyone.
Yeah, see you guys.